Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. A couple of episodes ago, I did a little bit of expanding on the devotion tree skill crafting based on some feedback from Oak Tree Watcher. I batch recorded a couple of episodes, so some of the feedback I got from Oak Tree Watcher based on that episode I'm addressing now. And actually, we went back and forth a little bit and came to something that is better overall for the build. Because my process for coming up with a build is I start with an idea of what I want. Then I have a look at Grimkalk and I'll just have a look at the skill tree. See what's there, what's interesting, what's not. Figure out a playstyle I want to go for. And then have a look at the devotion tree to see what's complementary, maybe what fills out some weaknesses, things like that. Most of the time I lean towards the defensiveness on the devotion tree because there's just a bunch of nice things. No, the tortoise is pretty cool with the turtle shell, which gives you a nice damage absorption shield for low health. Especially on hardcore, you don't want to use it, but if you need to use it, you're really happy you have a tortoise shield, tortoise shell that is. Next up, we picked up the hound to boost our retaliation, which is pretty nice. And currently our retaliation is in a pretty darn good spot. Next up, the Dryad. Get some more white points, get some health, some energy regen. And eventually, for the active ability, this is gonna get us some healing. Every 8 seconds, we get a tick of healing and we are gonna get a reduced amount. The duration of poison and bleeding on us will get reduced. So this is a very nice defensive bonus. It's basically mitigates incoming damage over time effects, and especially in some boss fights they can really start to stack up. So if we have this in addition to maximum poison resistance and maximum bleeding resistance, we are in a really good spot there. Then only burning damage and things like frostbite, those we're not doing anything against, but they are less common than bleeding and poison, so that's pretty cool. But next up, my original plan was to go for Shield Maiden to get blocking. Then Oak Tree Watcher reminded me of Messenger of War, which really adds a lot of retaliation, which is really in line with the build. And because it has a activated skill that can level up, the earlier you get it, the more time you actually have to level it up and make it more effective. Plus, no, there is some damage reflection on there, which is something that we need to deal with archers and mages. Because meleeers, especially the weaker meleeers, they kill themselves in 1 or 2 hits right now because we have quite a bunch of retaliation damage. But reflection is what we need for ranged attackers. And there is 3 point, in a couple of points, I think it's 4 points. Then you get a 25% reflection. But we need purple to get there, so we would need to invest in a purple skill somewhere. So it would take about 12 points to get this in total, including all the dependencies. So start looking around a bit more, and Targo the Defender has an activated ability, 25% chance on attack, to get 50% damage reflected, which is pretty darn useful, and this scales up. It lasts for 5 seconds, but it can trigger every 8 seconds. So it has a reasonable chance of actually being active, let's say half the time. Well, if we're being optimistic, we'll say it's going to be up half the time. So in a lot of extended fights, if it's going to be up half the time, we will be reflecting half the damage, which will scale to 150%. We will be reflecting a lot of damage. Also, we will be blocking a lot more damage, 50% more, which will scale up with our shield. Armor goes up, so this is a very nice defensive bonus. On top of that, Targo the Builder increases armor, damage blocked, health, armor, defensive ability, and even more health. 300 points of health with all the bonuses on top is quite a bit. So after we complete the Dryad, we're gonna go for Targo the Builder. And after we have that, we're gonna go back to our original plan of grabbing Messenger of War. And as a precondition for that, we're gonna have a look at the Wolverine, which gives us some simple defensive bonuses and some retaliation. No, everything is about retaliation, and then we're gonna get some reflection from the messenger. And after that, we're gonna grab the shield maiden, which gives us a whole bunch of retaliation and blocking bonuses and things like that. But because there's no scaling component to it, we'll push it off slightly. And then if we live long enough to actually make it beyond this, that we need to allocate even more points, then we're gonna grab the lizard to get some life regen, and after that we're gonna finish up with the obelisk over here, which will give us the stone form, which is another massive defensive bonus, which also has retaliation to it. And 100% bonus to retaliation damage is nothing to sneeze at, but no, completing this will take us to 49 points. So that's gonna basically mean we have to get pretty far into ultimate difficulty. So that's gonna be a long way off. But no, my whole process is I usually plan 1 or 2 constellations ahead. And after that, I'll just see what the build needs and adjust accordingly. That said, let's actually get playing. We have unlocked the Smuggler's Pass. Last time we went into the Steps of Torment. This time we are gonna deal with the lovely invaders of the Smuggler's Pass. Because this used to be a really fancy troll hideout. And then the Ethereals came and they kind of messed with things for a little bit. And now, I don't think anyone is truly happy here.
That skill's not ready.
I mean, I don't think the undead kind of know what happiness is if it hit them in the face. Possessed trolls don't really strike me as happy either, and the trolls that haven't been possessed yet, well, they certainly aren't happy. Well, they might be happy they're not possessed, but they're really not happy that everybody is invading their home turf. Not gonna go in there, because there's not really anything over there. And we're just gonna push through. So there's a bit of an area, then a bridge, another area, so we'll just, we'll see. Ooh, there is a hero here. We just killed a reanimator, because they whispered that it's only the beginning. Took me a long time and some wikiing to find out that the whisper that it's only the beginning is actually the death scream of a reanimator. And you. And another. So we haven't really encountered a lot of beastkin yet. They're kind of a staple from here onwards. So that's gonna be fun. But they're a bit like the Grobles. No, they're part of the world, but they're not an active part of the storyline, at least not yet. No, you never know what the future expansions, or at least what the expansion and future content is gonna bring.
I can't do that yet.
As far as I understand, the expansion is gonna focus on the Ethereals rather than the Catonians. I'm personally expecting 1 extra mastery, but that's
not ready.
no more the merrier. But it's also going to be quite a while off. But at least now the devs are releasing some pictures on Facebook and the forums and things like that. So at least they are confident that they will actually make it, and they've got some material to show for it. So usually, you would expect if they're in the hype build-up phase that it's not going to be very long into the future. So I'm personally expecting the expansion to be here within, like, say, half a year. But of course, no official timeline has been released yet. So technically, it's a wait and see. But of course, as fans of the game, we hope, we wish, and we wait, and we play, and we enjoy. And there's not a lot more that we can do. Wow, that one really wants to run towards his doom. So, oh, this hunter really not taking a lot of damage. Especially because it's just shooting at me in melee rather than resorting to melee attacks. The regular meleeers, they have quite some regen. But even something like a stone troll, it does take quite some retaliation damage. And this is, well, trolls are tough.
I can't do that yet.
And especially if they're yellow, of course, then they're tougher than their normal white counterparts. I'll be very happy once we get a bit more reflection to deal with those pesky archers. Or gunners, or whatever is shooting at us. Come to think of it, I don't think there's really any archers, are there? You got the crossbow skeletons. That's sort of kind of like archers, and this one has a crossbow.
Can't do that yet.
But for us, it's guns and crossbows, no bows. I wonder if that's a conscious choice to not go with the default thing of having a bow in there, but having something that makes more impact.
I can't do that yet.
Let's see, you please die. And you as well. We cleared the first bits and we crossed the bridge. Deal with the range guy while everybody else just kills themselves. Of course we have to take out the troll. That's interesting that the beastkin have a strong regeneration trait to them. The Grobles, they've got the shamans. Undead are just numerous and they got regenerators or revivers, necromancers, or however you want to call them.
I can't do that yet.
Trolls just have troll blood. Humans are just out of luck. They have no healing. But no, sometimes you got wizards or occultists or stuff that summon things. But it is interesting that each of the factions does have their own characteristics, their own traits, their own mechanics, rather than all of them having their own variations of a mechanic. Okay, that's Ogre Smash. I'm all for dealing with the mages first. I'm all for tanking, but I don't want to be tanking multiple trolls at the same time if I don't have to. It goes back to the trying to stay alive kind of thing that I'm doing here. Oh, single guy though. That can be tanked. Okay, let's drink a flask, just for spice things up a little bit. Also, didn't I have a brutal shield slam? Yeah, why the heck did that one disappear off my skill bar? It's really useful in fights like this. Troll smash. Yeah, he just stun resistant. I tried to stun him with this brutal shield slam, but he's just not phased. That really is a guy that you have to out-tank or just kite or whatever. But you can't really interrupt him, at least. I can't. Maybe you need a stronger stun. No stun that lasts longer, that might work. It could be that he really has a high stun resistance. And there we get back to our ancient foe, the Ethereals. And of course, glowy eyes, they must die. Because reasons. Also, no scrap in the scrap pile. That's a disappointment. Diamond Gulch. Hey, hello, Ballard, the Rock Eater.
That skill's not ready.
It's also interesting that they don't trigger from there. Oh, now they do. Had to say it, didn't I? Well, if it's just two range guys, then it's okay. Currently the question would be, would it be wise to charge over there in order to deal with the range guys while he just kills himself on reflected damage or retaliation damage? Because that could be a way to deal with it. The thing I'm afraid of though is if we charge east, that will wake up more monsters. That's why I didn't do it. But yeah, exactly this. There is a group here. Also, probably shouldn't be standing in the ether for too long. Yeah, see, this hurts. Ether hurts. Really not a good place to stand. Hello, buddy. How are you today?
Ready.
Miss one hunter in the middle. Let's see, one corpse. Another one. And there is a little bit of infighting in between factions here, between the regular beastskin and the ether corrupted beastskin. I do like how they show a faction just slowly being corrupted in multiple stages, just across multiple areas.
That skill's not ready.
I think this is one of the last areas where you actually do find the uncorrupted beastskin. After this they're all ether corrupted. And that one actually survived, probably because I stunned him or something. Ow, ow, ow. Hello. Just taking a little bit of a scenic route around here, just to clear some more mobs, get some more experience, see some more scenic sights, and kill some more monsters, because it's fun. And you can't argue against fun.
I can't do that yet.
There's some crystals there. Well, you could charge in and out and get yourself some crystals. Alright, these are actually not chargeable. This is just this is basically a death route unless you have really high resistances, using ether clusters, things like that. Basically, if you have a way to deal with avoiding the damage mostly. Hello again, Ulgrim. Early in the game he doesn't really appear like a major character. From here on out he will be. Let's see.
Greetings, Taken. I had a feeling you'd be coming through here sooner or later. You have a knack for going where the killing is thickest.
How can I help here?
I came upon these refugees on my way through Smuggler's Pass. They were trapped and would soon have become food or entertainment for the trolls. I had to do something. Now we're stuck out here, caught in the midst of a battle between the trolls and the ethereal forces. The tunnel to Homestead is blocked by aether fire, and the only option now is a passage through the mountain deeps. It is a foul place at the bottom of the world, infested with all manner of terrible things that hate the sun. There is no way these people would survive down there. In Devil's Crossing, I saw that you had the power to open rifts. I need you to fight your way to Homestead, secure a rift, and come back for us. So please, help these people. Below is an entrance to the deeps. From there, you'll exit onto the dusty road that will lead you into Homestead. Be swift. I'm not sure how much longer I can hold off the trolls before they come in force.
I'll find a way. Then we have a side quest here. Find his sister. Sure, we can do that. Let's see, we got some loot in between. Two-handed mace, of course it has 200 DPS bonus because you lose all defensiveness. green shield, that's quite a downgrade in terms of how much it blocks. And it doesn't have retaliation damage, so that's an easy choice. A one-handed cleaver that has a lot less damage on it, so we didn't really find anything all that interesting, which is unfortunate. I think we're gonna call it an episode here. We got a nice stopping point. Next episode we're gonna dive deeper into damage gulch, or specifically into the caverns where scary things dwell. Also, there will be more devotion shrines, and hopefully we'll see the light of day and make our way to Homestead. So, as always, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.